the figure skating championship. Who is going to win the gold medal in ladies figure skating here at the Sarajevo Winter Games? Well, the competition started this morning with the compulsory figures, and the American team was all here. Now, they're a lovely bunch of young ladies, but each one totally different from the other. And the question is, how did they do and how did they fare in the compulsory figures, which require a very special type of temperament? The figures are exacting, demanding. They require nerves, control, and serious concentration. You cannot let up for 1 second in those school figures. So how did our American girls, each of whom is totally different from the other, fare in the compulsory figures? Well, in order to understand how they did in the compulsory figures, you have to understand what makes each girl tick and how they got to be here at the Olympic Games in the first place. In 1981, for example, Rosalynn Sumners was only able to manage a 5th place win in the U.S. National Figure Skating Championships. But in 1982, when she won the competition, everyone was kind of surprised, but not Rosalynn. You see, she had a quiet confidence that masked a cool determination and a very strong will to win. So when she mounted that stand, it may have been surprising to other people in the audience, but it was not to Rosalynn. And then in 1983, she won her 2nd United States figure skating title, and then promptly proceeded to go on to Finland, to Helsinki, where she won the 1983 World Championship. She proved to everyone, and most of all to herself, that she was no fluke. And at the same time, she gave further impetus to her growing reputation as the Grace Kelly of the ice. Blonde, aristocratic, reserved, capable, and very pretty. But 1984 was not to be so easy. She won the national championships all right, but it was less than a first-class performance. Despite this fall and other minor mishaps, Rosalynn did not choke. She kept her cool. She remained the poised champion right to the very end. And thus we can understand what appears to be her greatest asset, her ability to concentrate and to focus on the job that's right at hand. And it was that very quality which she needed a great deal of this morning when she started the compulsory figures at the Skandaria ice rink. This was the first figure, a forward inside rocker. Look at the attention to detail, the steadiness of the edges, the tracing of the lines, how clean and smooth she is as she steps into this back inside edge. She was 2nd in this, the first figure, and off to a very good start. Now, they say on Broadway that you can become a success overnight after many years of hard work. Well, young Tiffany Chin, our number 2 lady, has emerged on the scene as a force to reckon with, and it appears to be just overnight. We first met her in 1983 when she vaulted from 5th to 3rd at our national championships. But she really made her mark just a month ago in Salt Lake at this year's national championship when she won both the long and the short free skating programs and won the silver medal overall. She finally emerged from behind Elaine Zayak's shadow. And now Tiffany is eager to show her potential and to be taken seriously. Here at practice a few days ago, we saw her stretching out, moving easily and smoothly across the ice. You see, even though she's a tough competitor, she's approaching this Olympics as an opportunity for everyone to see how well she can skate and with what potential she will be a future champion. Jim McKay will tell us more about her.
This is the hand of an old Chinese man, drawing the characters Chen Ting Ting. That's his granddaughter's name in his native language. The skating world knows his granddaughter as Tiffany Chin, a growing presence on the world scene at age 16. They call her the China Doll, 5 feet tall and 90 pounds, and when she chooses to, she can look very much like a porcelain figure who should be poised atop a music box. But she's more than that. At age 13, she became the first skater of an Oriental background to win a world championship, the World Junior title. At 16, she seems poised for a big move forward. She made the American team for last year's World Championships and finished a very respectable 9th. Like other working people in Southern California, she had to battle the freeway for 2 or 3 hours a day to train with her coach, John Nix.
And then you're out there. move. A lot of people now call her the China doll, and it's a fact that she's a doll-like in appearance sometimes. She's quite a small young lady, compact. As you know, China dolls are pretty fragile, and Tiffany is not. She has a great inner strength and fortitude. There, that's right, that's right.
Tiffany's the youngest member of the American World Team and the only one who attends a regular high school.
I'm taking 3 classes, English, history, and algebra. I go just half day, but then I have to make up the rest of it in the summer, so I'm in school all year round. Sometimes I feel that I have to always be perfect, but when I think about it, my second thoughts are, no, that's not true, Tiffany. It's just that you're putting the pressure on yourself, because you don't have to be that way. Just let loose and be yourself. That usually works. Then I don't have to be perfect anymore. I think that with all this going on, I feel confident knowing that my family is 100% behind me. My mom and my coach, I think, are my greatest assets. They guide me and steer me, hopefully, in the right direction.
In traditional Chinese fashion, Tiffany is closely supported by her family. Her mother, Marjorie, her father, Edward, her 7-year-old little brother, Michael, 14-year-old sister, Tammy, and her grandparents from mainland China. She likes being Chinese-American.
I don't think my Chinese background has affected me at all. In fact, it's maybe helped me. When I'm out there skating, though, it made me think, oh, there's that Chinese little girl, and maybe I stand out a little more. And I'm not ashamed at all. I'm very proud to be Chinese.
Tiffany Chin, a China doll with a core of spring steel, hoping for gold, silver, or bronze in Sarajevo.
With her strong family background and strength of character, Tiffany Chin may well be on her way to the top of the figure skating world. But right now, that seems to lie in the future. What she really needs at this point is experience, exposure, and seasoning. And as we see her perform the second figure here, the paragraph double 3, you can see the steadiness that she already shows and the composure that she has. Look at the 3s here, the smooth back inside edge, and again, the turning 3. She was only 13th going into this figure and pulled up to 12th after it. The expectation is that she'll move up considerably higher after the free skating. Elaine Zayak, the third member of our team, is certainly a familiar figure. We've seen her grow up over the years, progressing through many, many changes. Her career has been erratic. There have been highs and lows. Let's go back to 1979, when as a mere 13-year-old, she won the National Junior Ladies title and showed the promise of being a champion. I didn't even know how to pronounce her name.
We're watching for the first time a new face in the skating world. 13-year-old Elaine Zayak from Paramus, New Jersey, representing the Skating Club of New York.
As everybody knows now in the world of skating, you're now the national junior champion. Was it exciting?
Yes, very.
What did it feel like?
I don't know. I didn't expect it.
And what's it going to do now when you go into the senior ladies next year?
Well, I'm going to try hard. I don't know.
Well, it has been a wonderful moment. Congratulations to Elaine Zayak on the National Junior Championship. And what a little firecracker she was, and try she did. It was just 2 years later that she won the national championship and did her career take off. And then, remember in 1982, when she stunned the world by skating from 7th to 1st place to win the World Championship title. She was spinning dizzily, but from then on, there was one problem after the other. In the 1983 National Championships, Elaine was only able to gain 2nd place to Rosalynn, a crushing blow after defeating her at the 1982 World Championships. But Elaine still had another chance to regain her position. She looked to the World Championships in 1983 once again, hoping it would be her moment. But it was never to be. A stress fracture caused her to withdraw, and she never got her chance. And so, some thought this year at the National Championships, she would have that opportunity. And in fact, she did. Going into the long program, she was in second place behind Rosalynn, who had already skated. A flawed performance with a fall. It left the door wide open for Elaine, who was the last to skate. But she didn't come through. 2 falls and an exhausted finish, and she dropped to third place, overweight, out of breath. But here at the Olympic Games, she has one more chance. Now she is trimmed down and in fighting shape. But this morning, it once again appeared that her temperament was just not suited for skating compulsory figures. I really think she's happiest as a free skater, at heart a jumper and a performer. And so this performance in figures was once again weak. Here on the first figure, she got off to a very rocky start. She came in a disappointing 12th in that figure. All of the American girls will be challenged by this young lady, Katarina Witt of East Germany. She's a 2-time European champion, powerful, strong, pretty, and exceptionally athletic. But she has never won a world championship, and she's hungry for a gold medal. Katarina has not been strong in the compulsory figures in the past. In fact, it has been that very weakness that's held her back from winning. At the 1983 World Championship, she came in a meager 8th place after the compulsory figures, dramatically pulling up then to 4th overall. But here, going into the second figure, she was in 3rd place and quickly becoming a greater threat. Rosalynn Sumners seemed to sense this as she looked on from the sidelines. But there was one other skater for Rosalynn to watch this morning. You see, Rosalynn had pulled into the lead with her second figure, but Elena Vodorezova of the Soviet Union was close behind her in 2nd place. Elena executed the best back change loop and won that figure, but Rosalynn was able to maintain her overall lead. So let's have a look at the final results of the compulsory figures. Rosalynn Sumners in 1st place, followed by Elena Vodorezova and Katarina Witt. Tiffany Chin and Elaine Zayak, 12th and 13th place. You're in 1st place. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I bet that makes you feel pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes, it's just so good to have finally gotten started. The week was getting really long, and I was just getting anxious to get going, and I felt very calm today. It's the calmest I've ever felt when I've competed in compulsory figures, and that just makes me feel good, and I'm just glad I have one behind me and I can move on to the next.
Now, what do you think about your competition?
What about it?
The competitors that you're facing now in the rest of the championship.
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking about myself, but there's 2 very good skaters right behind me, so I know that I just have to go out and skate my best for the next 2 phases of the competition.
Some skaters can go out and mechanically skate just the same performance after performance. You're not that mechanical. How do you approach this whole pressure game?
No, I'm not mechanical at all, and I think since this is the Olympics and it is so exciting, that I want to go out and make it very special and very emotional, so that it doesn't just feel mechanical when it's over. All of a sudden I realize that I've just gone through it with no feeling. I really want to put a lot of feeling into the numbers.
So specifically, what do you do to psych yourself up?
I think being in 1st place has really given me an edge to the confidence, because I want to stay there.
That helps, doesn't it?
It does, definitely. I have a taste of, what I want the outcome to be, and, I don't want to lose that taste. It's a good taste.
Yeah, well, you look terrific. Congratulations, and good luck in the rest of it.
We'll see Rosalynn Sumners of the United States as she continues her drive for an Olympic gold to add to her world championship in Phase 2, the short free skating program. She'll be challenged by Katarina Witt of East Germany. Katarina did better than expected in the compulsory figures and poses a real challenge to Roz. And Scott Hamilton reaches the moment his life has built toward. Gold medal night in men's figure skating. The young man from Bowling Green, Ohio, by way of Denver, has come from a 5th place finish at Lake Placid to 3 world championships. Now he goes for the big one. This is a golden day in Sarajevo.
We have a very enthusiastic crowd gathered today at the Zetra Arena. This event received an enormous amount of pre-Olympic publicity, a good deal of conjecture about it, as we bring you today the ladies' short program in figure skating. And there are the standings after the compulsory figures. Rosalynn Sumners, the reigning world champion from the United States, makes her home in Edmonds, Washington as the leader. Elena Vodorezova of the Soviet Union normally excels in the school figures. She did, and she's in 2nd place. And Katarina Witt, a legitimate gold medal hopeful from East Germany, is very nicely positioned at the moment in third place. Now, the school figures were worth 30% of the overall score, so we are about a third of the way through the competition. What you will see today is the short program. It's about 2 minutes in length, and it's worth 20% of the overall score. And then the finale coming up on Saturday night, and that's the free skating portion, worth 50%. Now, most of you have been reading about two American skaters, Rosalynn Sumners and Elaine Zayak, and the battle they figured to have here. And also, recently, a lot of publicity has been given to the up-and-coming Tiffany Chin from Toluca Lake, California. Sumners, of course, is in very good shape. She's the leader right now, but Tiffany Chin is all the way down in 12th position, and Elaine Zayak of Paramus, New Jersey, who was the world champion in 1982, is 13th. Peggy Fleming won the gold medal in 1968 at Grenoble. I'm wondering about your assessment of the three Americans, and in particular, what about Elaine Zayak? She has such a long road ahead now.
Well, she's got to be very disappointed being down to 13th place, but coming up is her strengths, her free skating portion of the competition. And also Tiffany Chin, she won the short program and the long program at our national championships 2 weeks ago. So it'll be very interesting to see how far these two girls can pull themselves up. However, Rosalynn Sumners looks wonderful. This is her strength also. She has a wonderful blend of athletic and artistic elements, so this will be an exciting competition for sure.
So those are the prospects for the Americans. And let's talk about the foreigners now as I turn to Dick Button. We talked about Votorezova of the Soviet Union in second place right now, and also Katarina Witt of East Germany in third. Assess their chances, Dick.
Well, Elena Votorezova is a wonderful compulsory figure skater, but I don't think she's as strong as she should be in the free skating. Remember, that program, 4 minutes, is a very long period of time, and I think Elena Votorezova will have trouble sustaining that and being, in a sense, a true threat to Rosalynn Sumners. On the other hand, Katarina Witt of East Germany, well, that's quite another story. She is extremely powerful. She's an exceptional athlete. She's very pretty, and she's developed a certain gracefulness and line to her skating over the past year in comparison to what she had in the last World Championship. And I think that what it really comes down to is, will either of the girls make a mistake in the short program? Will they miss one of the required elements? If they do, that's going to change their present position, I think, quite dramatically. And of course, then whoever wins the final program, the free program, is again going to change that. So I think that we have one of the most extraordinary competitive situations coming up that I've ever seen in a ladies' competition in the Olympic Games.
Dick, the first skater we're going to take a look at today is the overnight sweetheart of a lot of people, especially after her performance in January in Salt Lake City, 16-year-old Tiffany Chin. We asked her earlier about the short program.
The short program is very important in that all skaters are required to do 7 elements, and each one has to be completed. It is a very stressful event where you just have to complete everything. Everything is required, and there'll be quite a bit of deduction if you miss anything. Also, though, it won't really make a difference if you do well in it, it really won't maybe pull you up that much, but if you do badly, it can really pull you down. So it's very important.
And now here she is, Tiffany Chin, coming into the short program after placing 12th in the compulsory round.
Remember, there are 7 elements. Did you notice the smile on her face as she came out? The first element, she will do a forward camel, 5 revolutions, changing to a back camel, 5 revolutions. Here it is. Count them.
Beautiful arch to her back. She has such a stunning style on the ice, and every detail is taken care of. Look at this leg lift. Very nice.
Now, the most serious moment in the short program for her, a double jump combination. One jump must be a double loop. She is elected to do a triple toe loop, double loop combination. Here it is. Oh, nice.
Beautiful. The height that she got on that was absolutely wonderful, and she is known for doing very good jumps.
Here's the next element, straight line footwork. Flying open axle sit spin, sometimes call it death drop.
Very nice. She does that probably better than any of the girls here in Sarajevo. She gets the height and that effortless look to it. It's wonderful.
The suspension in the air. The next jump, a double flip.
Watch the wrist just flips. It's wonderful. It's a real nice finishing touch.
Complicated, the dangerous double axel, forward edge.
Oh, nice.
Their final move, a combination spin, one change of foot, multiple changes of positions, camel, sit spin, lay back camel, illusion spin, back sit spin.
Well, she got the audience going.
Doesn't
really
she?
did.
Oh,
very exciting.
How nice, how nice. Oh, look at the smile on her face. Isn't that adorable?
That smile all the way through the program. A lot of Americans are here. That's been the case throughout the Olympic Games in the Zetra Arena. And you have to love her. Tiffany Chin, who stole everyone's heart in Salt Lake City, 12th after the compulsory round. But as Peggy said, her strength's now coming up. She won the short and long programs at the national championship. And she's very happy with her performance, obviously.
Oh, she should be. Okay, let's take a look at her triple toe loop, double loop, and watch the height that she gets. There she's going to tap in for the takeoff. Very straight rotation, very easily done. And the correct position on both of those jumps. Look at the look on her face.
And the first set of marks coming up for technical merit. And they're good. They range from 5.4 from the Yugoslavian judge all the way up to 5.8 from the Italian judge.
Thank you very much.
You had such a nice smile on your face the moment you went out. It was terrific.
Yeah, it was a great crowd here, and they're giving me a lot of support, and it felt just great out there.
Now take a look at those marks. Here is the second set of marks. 5, 5, 5, 7.
Oh, 5.
What is that 5? Judge number 4. What an incredible set of marks. That, I think, is going to move Tiffany well up in the standing. Oh, what a nice moment. Well, now, I bet that made you happy.
Yes, it does. The short program was not going so hot this week, and I felt really good to pull it off here tonight. Felt even better than our U.S. nationals.
Was the pressure extraordinary for you here?
No, not really. I felt some, of course, winning the short and long at our nationals. But I felt really good. I totally took that out of my mind, and I just went for it.
Can I tell you something? You're sensational.
Thank you.
Leistner of West Germany. Now here's a lady who a year ago might have been a serious contender for a gold medal, having finished second in the worlds to Rosalynn Sumners. She's ninth after the compulsory figures. She has been injured, and in fact she was having some back trouble at practice this morning, so we'll watch her carefully.
Certainly the first and second moves will tell what kind of condition that she's in. First one is double flip right there.
That looked pretty strong. She's not noted for being very consistent, so let's see what happens.
This combination coming up is the triple toe loop, double loop, two jump combination. It's a tough one. Here it is. And that
just leaned out of that, I think, and could not finish those rotations, so it's better to just go on.
Here's the combination spin. Whatever it is, the failure for her to do that double jump combination is certainly means the death knell in her attempt to pull up in any way, shape, or form in this competition. This is a straight line footwork combination. She looks very heavy on the ice. She just certainly doesn't seem to be moving with any speed or lightness.
No energy. No energy at all.
Here's the camel, forward camel.
Not a very good position. The leg doesn't even seem to be up high enough.
There's a back
Bad arm
camel.
positions.
Remember, it is necessary for them to do 5 revolutions on each foot. And their final move, their next to final move, the double axel. Remember the forward edge? This is a treacherous one.
She pulled that off. Not great.
And there's the final move, the flying open axel sit spin, otherwise called a death drop.
I thought overall that was rather sloppy for this level of a competitor.
Very, very weak. Unfortunately, she just doesn't seem to be in condition. She has no speed, no energy, no lightness.
No.
This was the double jump combination, the 2 jump combination. First, the triple toe loop. Now, watch the landing. Watch the landing. And boom, she just never got off that back outside edge. Now, once again, watch the landing foot. And she just never seems to jump up into the air from that position. And, of course, never gets off the ice into the double loop. Here it is. Now, she steps into the ice. Oh, a poor step there, too. You could see that toe pick was very weak. Now, here, right from there, boom.
She was leaning back too far on her edge to really get into that second jump of a double loop.
Claudia Leisner seemed to be a lady on the way up a year ago, but because of injuries and other problems, the marks here are very low for technical merit, ranging from 4.5 all the way to 5.0. We told you about the back problems she had this morning. A desultory performance for her here. She was in 9th place after the compulsory round. And she will not enhance her chances, certainly after the short program, which again is worth 20% of the overall score. The marks are better for artistic impression. They range from a low of 5.0 from the Swiss judge all the way up to 5.6. Here's a lady who's still very young, but whose career has run the spectrum, has seemingly been covered. She's been a world champion, and she's been so low she nearly quit. Jim McKay narrates as you meet Elaine Zayac up close and personal.
When she was 15 years old, it seemed that the whole world was playing her song. She was little Elaine, the pride of Paramus, New Jersey, the triple jump kid with the little girl voice, champion of her country, then champion of the world. The horizon seemed unbounded, and it all came with such suddenness and apparent ease. But her skating didn't mature the way the experts thought it would. Elaine's leap for the stars became a downward spiral. A little girl doing what came naturally, they said, wasn't enough. But it hadn't just come naturally, and it hadn't been easy, because there was a story behind the story. One that she tells us now that she hasn't told anyone before.
Most people know that the reason why I started skating was because of a foot injury, and it wasn't an injury, it was an accident that happened when I was 2.5 years old. And part of my foot was cut off by a lawnmower. I slipped and fell into the lawnmower, and my foot went right under it. They didn't even know if I was going to be able to walk again because they didn't know how bad it was. And as it is now, I only have 2 of my toes, and the others are just, it's only half. So if I could walk, they were going to be glad. So they said the best thing to do was try either roller skating or ice skating for therapy. So I started out walking with special shoes to balance me right, and that worked fine. So we went into ice skating, and I took to it like candy to a baby. I don't really recall being self-conscious when I was younger. And then I started having people like stare at my foot. I I sometimes hated myself because I had that. And I said, there's going to be, you know, nobody that's going to like me if they know about my foot. Nobody's going to look at me. They're going to say, oh, she's gross or something. I didn't know what they were going to say, but I just didn't want anybody to know anything.
About a year ago, she told the whole story to a reporter. Off the record, she thought. A month or so later, it all appeared in a national magazine. Elaine couldn't believe it. She was really shaken.
I opened up the magazine and I cried and cried. I said, how could they do this to me? Then one day I went to my boyfriend. I thought he would hate me after he read that article. And he said, that doesn't bother me. He goes, I don't care if you have a half foot or you have no feet. Or he goes, I'm going to like you for what you are.
You have my pen.
Her boyfriend's acceptance did a lot for Elaine. The genie was out of the bottle, but it didn't really matter. Suddenly, she accepted her foot as something that simply exists. She wasn't afraid to let someone outside her family see it. Now that Elaine has told us the whole story, you can appreciate as you watch what she really has achieved. The little girl voice and giggle hide an inner determination that would be admirable in an athlete twice her age and size. We asked her coach, Peter Burrows, just how much of a problem her foot has been.
So far as the freestyle is concerned, there's never been a problem. The problems have been in the school figures because you need the use of the foot. The foot has to be able to roll. Well, I think when this year is over that the United States Figure Skating Association should get a cast of the foot and put it in the Hall of Fame because it really is the most incredible thing.
I want to be known for what I can do and not because I have a handicap or something. And this is the first time I've ever really talked about it to anybody. And I feel that I can because I feel better about myself.
And so now Elaine Zayac. You have seen how difficult it's been for her, the problems she has had to mount and overcome. And what she'll try to do here is move up and move up substantially. 13th after the compulsory figures. Her short program now.
And how that knife must be turning in her stomach at this moment. Her first move, the double jump combination, a triple toe loop into a double loop. She has performed it brilliantly during practice so far this week. Here it is.
Very solid. Very much like what she's been skating all week. Very consistent, very strong.
That really, the lines, the edge coming out of that was so fluid and straight. I mean, it was brilliant.
Yeah. Nice positions on the camel.
Her next move, a double flip. And look at the entrance into that combination spin. A forward inside camel. I think she's the only one in this competition that does that. Stepping forward, lay back, straight down leg. Interesting spin combination.
Yes, very much.
Now the double axel.
Oh, looked like she was kind of leaning, but she can always pull things out of the most outrageous positions.
I think she's quite pleased with herself the way this is. Here's the straight line footwork.
She has worked so hard these last few weeks between our national championship and here in Sarajevo. She's improved probably about 50%. She's gone on a rigorous training program.
Here's the final
really
move,
shows.
the death drop. You know, if she hadn't done badly in the school figures, I think she would have been a definite threat in the overall performance of this championship.
Yes. But she can feel good about herself. She did a really nice, clean, short program.
I found some of those moves really, really first rate.
Well, they've always said that she's too much the athlete and not enough the artiste. What do you think after that performance, though?
Well, she has improved a little bit, but there is still room for improvement on the artistic, but her strength is really in the athletic side.
Quite pleased with her performance, and as Dick just mentioned, so far down after the compulsory round, it becomes very difficult to vault over so many in front of you. But we'll see now because the crowd enjoyed the performance anyway. And the judges, of course, will come up with the scores momentarily as Elaine Zayac from Paramus, New Jersey, who has been all over the board in her career, a champion and then on the verge of retirement. And the marks now coming up for technical merit for Elaine, and they're very consistent, ranging from 5.3 up to 5.6. The 5.6 coming from the East German judge. About what you had thought, Peggy?
Well, they seem a little bit low for this standard of competitor, but it might have been the position where she was skating, the running order of the girls coming out.
Yeah, relatively early in the program.
It's hard for the judges to get a perspective of, you know, how they're really doing.
Right, the judges, of course, there were several skaters yet to view, and there are the marks for artistic impression. They're in just about the same range, 5.3 to 5.6. Okay, Dick.
I thought that was first-rate, Elaine.
Thank you.
And I think the marks were too low.
Well, I don't think that. I think a lot of it had to do at nationals. I didn't skate well, and I don't think it's my turn to really get on the podium here, and I just think that they're leaving it up to Rosalynn.
Well, I thought in this performance you did particularly well. I liked that inside edge going into the camel. I thought your jumps were fine, and you looked as though you were having a heck of a good time.
Well, I was ready for, to really go for this competition, but I think after the figures I felt like, I think my dream was kind of over, and I just knew now that I'm just going to go out and have a good time. And
you have always fought back from every down position. Now you're going to fight back again and do a heck of a good performance in the freestyle.
Oh, definitely. I've worked too hard not to do a good job, and I've been skating perfect in the long, and I'm really excited to do tomorrow and show everybody that I'm not a quitter.
Good for you, Elaine. Congratulations. You are indeed a champion.
Oh, thank you.
So Elaine Zayac, still bubbly, still effusive, has probably moved up in the standings, but as she put it, I guess they're going to leave it to Rosalynn Sumners right now if the U.S. is to win the gold. But quite a lady and quite a story. Elaine Zayac of Paramus, New Jersey. In seventh place after the school figures, Anna Kondrashkova, 18 years old. She finished 5th in last year's World Championships.
She has a wonderful style. That opening position just showed you everything that she's about. She really feels the music.
Again, the difficult moment, the opening combination. She's chosen to do it first. Remember the 2 jumps first? Triple toe loop and a double loop.
It was not great. It was a little bit hesitating on that landing. Not that the flow just didn't continue through.
Death drop.
The way she skates.
That seemed a little bit angular, didn't it?
Yes, it did. But she pulled it out.
Ooh, just slightly shaky at the end. That last combination spin was interesting. It had moments of really attractive spinning and then a rather poor layback position. It was a contrast. Did you feel?
Oh, yes.
Look at this combination spin, the last one now. First a camel spin. Position is adequate, but not great. Then she does the cannonball spin that we saw Linda Fratiani do, and then watch it turn into this layback with a rather unattractive back leg, free leg position. That certainly didn't compare with your layback, Peggy.
Thank you, Jim. But this girl is someone to watch in the long program. She has a beautiful long program. She seemed very rushed.
Here come the scores now for technical merit for Anna. And the Canadian judge did not particularly like it at 5.1. He's low, and the Italian judge and also the Soviet judge, her countryman, 5.6. That's the range for technical merit for Kondrashova of the Soviet Union, who was in 7th place after the school figures. She's 18 years old, her hometown Moscow. She's been skating since 1970, and the marks now for artistic impression are pretty good. The Yugoslavian and Italian judges 5.7 all the way down to 5.3. Next up is the lady who is in 2nd place after the compulsory round, Elena Vodorezova of the Soviet Union.
Now, the double jump combination, the 2-jump combination that she's elected to do is a double axel double loop, and that is of less value than the triple toe loop double loops that we've been seeing on so many of the other girls. That will not help her. The first move, a double axel.
That was very high.
Here's the 2-jump combination.
My goodness, I can't believe that she missed that. She looked so smooth.
Well, of course, that's going to destroy her chances for trying to remain in 2nd place if the rest of the competition goes according to Hoyle. I mean, that's a mandatory markdown for missing that 2-jump combination. Move a camel. Change to a back camel.
Well, this performance is really going to hurt her chances of the standings.
Remember, there is a mandatory markdown from 4/10 to 7/10 of a point, whichever a judge chooses to do within that framework, depending upon how much they think they accomplished of that combination. That's why this program is so difficult and so disastrous. Look, as she steps up into the double axel. Good height, landing on the back outside edge, and
I think she was just off timing of that. She just didn't take that extra little beat to get that rhythm of the double loop.
And then, of course, the extra hop that she did. Once you do that extra hop, the deal is all over with.
Hopping.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Here are the marks now for technical merit. And as Dick talked about, of course, the marks have to be significantly lower than they normally would have been. And I can tell by your reaction that they're lower than You might have even thought, Dick.
Well, I mean, it's logical. What you see, that's why this short program puts such pressure on the girls. One miss like that can destroy their chances from the entire championship. The short program was not intended to do that. It was intended to make free skating more important and to give the better free skaters a better opportunity to establish themselves. In fact, the opposite sometimes is what happens.
So the technical merit ranged from 5.2 to 4.8, and artistic impression 5.7. One of those 5.7s from the Soviet judge down to 5.3. Katarina Witt was in third place after the compulsory figures, so she's in solid contention for a medal. She'll be skating next. This 18-year-old from East Germany who's won the last 2 European championships. Jim McKay narrates as we meet her up close and personal.
Karl Marxstadt in East Germany is the spawning ground of champions. Since the city's sport club was founded 21 years ago, its members have won 14 Olympic gold medals, 15 silver, and 9 bronze. Add to that number 38 world championships and 62 world records, and you begin to wonder what's in the air that makes this town special. Well, actually, it's the training, not the air, that produces champions like Katarina Witt. She started skating while in kindergarten, began competition at age 7. She's been at it ever since, but still thinks it's fun.
When I started skating, I never thought of competing in championships. It was really only the fun of skating, which I still have. But with a certain age, certain goals were added, which were not there before.
Katarina thinks 1976 was the turning point in her career. It was then that she began training with Frau Jutta Müller, the mother of the beautiful former champion Gabi Seifert. Gabi, you may remember, was second in the Grenoble Olympics to Peggy Fleming. Frau Müller also coached Annette Perch to a gold in Lake Placid. She makes champions. And in the process, she's a very tough lady. When Frau Müller speaks, Katarina listens. Training, training, and more training, with a little time off.
When you have training, not so much, and I have more time, I can go in the evening with my friends. I meet them, we go in the cinema, and I like reading very much. I am reading all interesting books. In my free time, I try to learn English.
Here's Katarina with her friend Karen having a Sunday and talking it over. It looks more like a scene from an old Judy Garland movie than 1984 in East Germany. Katarina suffers from an old failing of beautiful free skaters, that old devil compulsory figures. She's been 9th and 8th in that phase of the competition in the last 2 world championships. What she likes is the music. Katarina Witt, a Brooke Shields look-alike with a passion for gold. A gold medal, that is.
Now Katarina Witt of East Germany. Everybody talking beforehand about Sumners and Zayak and maybe Chin sneaking in for the gold. And if they were talking about anybody else, it was this lady, Katarina Witt, in third place after the school figures.
She is absolutely a stunning looking girl. Look at these opening moves.
She has been performing consistently in all of the practices, but of course, this is the moment. Move, the double axel. Right here. There's a beauty. And here's Here's the two jump combinations. First the triple toe loop.
Oh, very nice. That flow just kept going. Very confident.
Here's a camel. Step camel. Nice back leg position there. Very much in control. Here's the double flip. Death drop.
She has a very European appeal, very European style in her skating.
The final footwork step, straight line step.
Audience clapping in time with her. Very nice performance.
Lovely, lovely. I must say that was a first-rate performance. I didn't see any mistakes. Everything was complete, and I think she is setting herself up as a very dangerous threat to Rosalynn Sumners.
Yes.
Now, of course, the question is, will Rosalynn be able to hold up and perform well in this short program? And I think we're going to see much of the name of the game of the Olympic gold medal in ladies figure skating right here.
Okay, let's take a look at this footwork that she did, coming straight down the ice. Very fast, quick, fresh-looking footwork. Very nice. Now you can see how quick she was moving. Close-up of her feet.
You know, when you think about how quickly an edge can go off, it's marvelous to look at it like that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Here come the marks now for technical merit, and they're very, very good for Katarina Witt, who is in third place after the school figures. Look at those. The U.S. judge, the lowest, 5'5", and then all of the others either 5'7" or 5'8". So only the American judge marked Witt down. 5'7s and 5'8s outside of the one marking for Katarina Witt, who is putting herself in a very good position and putting some pressure on Sumners, who follows. Now for artistic impression, mainly 5'9s as we look up at the board. The first three 5'8s, then 5'9", 5'9", 5'9", 5'6", 5'8", 5'9". There are 4 5'9s for her. The judge from the United States
is Raymond Alpert. Ray Alpert.
Good marks, very good marks for Witt, and we'll be seeing Rosalynn Sumners next.
Jane's like a...
Everybody anticipating the next skater. Rosalynn Sumners of the United States makes her home in Edmonds, Washington. She's the reigning world champion, the leader after the compulsory round. Donna DeVerona spoke with her.
You have been very upfront about using a sports psychologist. How many people do you have here, and how are they helping you?
I have my whole support system is here. Like, everyone keeps asking me if I've called home yet, and I don't need to call home because everyone that I would is here with me. My ballet teacher's here, both my parents are here, my brothers are here, Lorraine is here, my coach, and then I also have an extra figure coach that's here. My sports psychologist is here, my press aid's here, and friends are here, my boyfriend's here, and so anyone that has been supporting me, for the last couple of years is here for that extra support. So I kind of feel like I'm just at home, practicing at home.
What has your sports psychologist told you this last week?
We've been working really hard on just keeping the focus on my skating, because with the anxieties to get started and having this be the big Olympics, I just really have to do my job and then let the outcome happen. I'm starting to think a lot about the outcome, what I want it to, how I want to end up after the competition's over, and we're really working hard on just keeping my focus on the job I'm doing at the time.
How do you want it to end up, or is that something you're still not trying to talk about or do?
Well, I want to win, and that's the biggest thing in my mind right now, and I just have to keep those kind of thoughts for off the ice and not let them, when they are in my mind, not let them be too overwhelming.
So now it's Rosalynn Sumners who has to follow the very fine performance of Witt, the world champion, the leader after the compulsory figures, ready for her short program.
And I think that the name of this game will come in her second move, the two-jump combination. Whichever one she chooses and how she does it. Death drop. Here is the two-jump combination. Triple toe loop, double loop.
Oh, very
Did
nice.
it all right.
Very nice.
Yes, sir. It's the double axel.
She just looked like she really had it there, but just hesitated and put that foot down.
She did not attack it
No.
the way she did the double jump combination.
Very good position in this camel. Look at her arms and the arch of the back. This double flip is very nice. Look at the exit position, the arm up, very nice.
Her final move, combination spin.
Rosalynn Sumners of the United States, the world champion, three-time national champion. Her performance, Peggy, how would you compare it to that of Witt?
Well, with that one flaw, I think it's going to really hurt her. Here is that double axel where she did fall out of. She was leaning way back on her skate and she could not hold it, but at least she didn't fall. And here is the combination that she did so well, the triple toe. Watch her take this takeoff and tap in and do the 3 rotations and right back up into the double loop. She did that very nice, very clean, flowed right through it.
Again, this short program is worth 20% of the overall score. She was first after compulsories. The marks for technical merit are low, 5.3 all the way up to 5.5 from the Italian judge. So significantly lower than those marks posted by Witt. Lorraine Mormon, her coach, is with her as the marks for artistic impression now come up, and they are higher. The 5.8 from the Soviet judge, they're all 5.7s and 5.8s outside of the 5.6 being posted now from the Canadian judge for Rosalynn Sumner's short program. Okay, Dick.
Rosalynn, on the one jump that you put the foot down, what happened?
I'm not sure. I think I was a little excited after the triple combination. I think I started getting a little too slow, and I just didn't push right into it.
Well, the triple jump combination was wonderful. You really attacked that so beautifully.
And that combination, I was just going a little slow into the double axel, and I just got a little bit off the hip.
Well, there was a fairly significant low group of marks there. I think that was unfortunate. What?
Kind of had a wobble in the camel spin, too, I think, a little bit. Did you see that? I don't know.
Was it a conservative performance in your mind?
No, I didn't think so. I was going all out tonight, definitely. Just putting my foot down, I don't think that means I was conservative, because I really went for that combination, and that was, the big thing in my mind, and I felt very confident
confident and very sure of myself out there.
Now, about preparing for the long. Now, what does it mean now? How are you going to handle it? How are you going to approach it?
We have a day off, and I think that's good because I can really get some good training in tomorrow, really push myself and get all the kinks out. And I felt very relaxed tonight, and so I'm not anticipating anything, to go wrong for the long.
You are terrific. You're just the prettiest thing on the ice I've ever seen, and congratulations and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Will be Kira Ivanova of the Soviet Union, who has an outside chance at a medal. She was 5th after the compulsory figures. 5'3", 105 pounds, 20 years old. Ivanova from Moscow.
And what she can do is change the order of finish in the short program, which can disrupt some of the positions of the ladies as they go into this at this point. Combination. Oh, very nice. I don't think that's a particularly pretty position, do you?
No, not at all. It's sort of there because she has to do it. Sequence of footwork. She really reaches up to the sky, really expresses with her upper body, and her feet are going crazy down below. She's skating very well.
Combination spin. Bad layback leg position. Very nice program, but
not great. She's rather sloppy in a way, but she did pull off all the elements, and that's what's really important in this phase of this competition.
You know, one thing I think is true, that if Elaine Zag had been skating in this last group and did the performance that she did, she would have been right up at the top with the short program content.
Okay, let's take a look at the spin that she did, the camel. There's her preparation. Her extension of her free leg is not up high enough. She is not spinning on the ball of her foot, and that's why she's not rotating faster than she is. She's teetering back and forth, and it's just not a solid, calm-looking spin.
Kira Ivanova, the Soviet Union skater, the last performer today, and the marks for technical merit, as Peggy indicated, she did what she had to do. A good 5'4" is the low from the United States judge, 5'7" from the Italian judge. That's the range for technical merit for Ivanova, who came in 5th place after the compulsories. And now awaiting her marks for artistic impression, and those are basically in the same range and very consistent. They range from 5'5" all the way up to 5'7", and interestingly, the lowest mark from her countryman, the Soviet judge, 5.5 for Ivanova. Let's have a look now. Short program only. This again worth 20% of the overall score. Katarina Witt of East Germany turned in the best performance. Tiffany Chin of the United States was second best. They were followed by the two Soviet skaters. Rosalynn Sumners came in 5th, and Elaine Zayak came in 6th. Now, this combined with the compulsory round, which was worth 30%, means that at the halfway mark of the competition, Katarina Witt of East Germany is the leader. Rosalynn Sumners is second. Interestingly, Sumners would have been tied with Witt were it not for the very fine performance turned in by the very last skater, Kira Ivanova, who is now third. By the way, Tiffany Chin is now tied for 6th, so she has moved up, and Elaine Zayak is well down in 11th place. A closer look now at how the judges viewed things today. As you can see, the 9 judges, only the American judge thought Witt had the second best program. He had Chin on top. The Italian judge, judge number 4, had Witt and Chin tied for the best performance. You can see where Ivanova placed, and as we continue on, where the rest of them, Kondrashova, Sumners, and Zayak, placed in the estimation of the judges today. Now, there is one American judge here, Raymond Alpert. That's the way he viewed it. He had Chin on top, and again, he was the only man to have Witt out of first place, and some might say, well, there's partiality involved there, but then again, look at the bottom. You've got Sumners in 5th place on his card, and Dick Button's with him now.
Ray Alpert, you're the U.S. judge, you're in the hot seat, and it's a tough job. Will you answer one question? Why were you the only judge not to put Katarina Witt in first place in the short program? In fact, you put Tiffany Chin in that place. Why?
When I observed the program, I felt I had to judge it exactly as I saw it. Tiffany Chin did all the required elements exactly as they should be done. She did a very good job, and it was my strong conviction that she was, at that time, the best skater out there. I had to put her in first place.
Thank you, sir.
So we're all set now for the free skating, which takes place on Saturday night. It's worth 50% of the overall score. The way it shapes up right now, a great battle upcoming for the gold medal between the East German skater Katarina Witt and Rosalynn Sumners of Edmonds, Washington, with Tiffany Chin perhaps holding on to an outside chance right now to come up with a medal as she moved well up in the placement.
Final free skating phase. Now, we're going to look forward to that battle in some detail this evening. One thing we're going to do is to watch the performances of and to talk with the 3 most recent American queens of Olympic figure skating, and that would be Carol Heiss, Peggy Fleming, and Dorothy Hamill. Now we're going to consider the subject with Dick Button. Dick was at the arena today for the final practice sessions of both of the 2 young skaters.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dick Button at the Scandaria Ice Rink, and the young lady you're watching is none other than the United States champion, Rosalynn Sumners. She's in number 2 place going into the finals of the ladies' competition here at the Winter Olympic Games, and she's got a tough competition ahead of her with Katarina Witt of East Germany. But these 2 young ladies are in the last practice session before the final fight out for that gold medal, and what a gold medal fight that will be. A wonderfully close competition, both skaters brilliant, both of them doing an exceptional practice here tonight. Remember also on the American team, Elaine Zack in 11th place, Tiffany Chin tied in 6th place. And what a moment this is to see that last practice and to get the feel of what those 2 ladies must be going through as they enter this last day before that competition. Let's take a moment to reintroduce them to you, to get to know them and see them and see out what happened and how they got here in this final position at the Olympic Games. Rosalynn Sumners had won the Junior World Championship title as a young and up-and-coming skater, but it was in 1982 that she won her first U.S. Championship title. 1983, however, was her year. She repeated her win at the National Championship and then went on to win the world title at Helsinki. What a moment that was for her. And just a month ago at Salt Lake, she repeated her win in the National Championship for her 3rd U.S. Figure Skating Championship title. So that when she went into the school figure competition here at Sarajevo in the Olympic Games, she was a lady of experience and many titles. And that experience paid off. She won the school figures and was the leader going into the short program. But she was faced with a dilemma. At the National Championship, she had performed a 2-jump combination that was not of the greatest difficulty. The pressure was put on her to increase that difficulty with a more difficult jump combination, and she did. Look at her here as she enters this 2-jump combination, not doing a double axel, but now a triple toe loop followed by a double loop. What a moment. She performed it perfectly. But then she must have let her concentration down, because here, as she entered into the double axel, another required move, she put her foot down. And that was a costly mistake. The judges were required to mark her down. And when others skated cleanly, well, she only managed to place 5th in the short program and thus dropped to 2nd place overall. Rosalynn's closest competition was Katarina Witt of East Germany. In the 1982 World Championship, she performed this triple jump, double jump combination. Good height, great athletic skill. She showed enormous promise. Look at the way she goes into this double axel, the forward edge, the height, and the lift. She made it to the stand that year, winning the silver medal, but in 1983, she dropped to 4th place. So here at Sarajevo, she was looking to make a comeback. And she came in a surprisingly high 3rd place position in the compulsory figures, and that put her in a prime position to move up in the short program. And the short program was wonderful. All 7 required moves were performed perfectly. This, the first move, first break. And the second combination, triple toe loop, double loop, beautiful. So Katarina won the short program, and that put her in 1st place overall, with Sumners in 2nd place. Now look at the points over on the right of your screen. Witt had 2.2, Sumners had 2.6. This is the way the finals will work. Whoever wins the final free skating program will get 1 point, the 2nd place will get 2 points, and so on down the line. That means that if Witt wins, she will add 1 point to her 2.2 points for a total of 3.2, and Rosalynn, if she comes in 2nd, will have a total of 4.6. Remember, it's the lowest number of points that counts. On the other hand, if Rosalynn wins, she will have 3.6 to Katarina Witt's 4.2, and Sumners will win. And that's the story of how it will work tomorrow in the free skating portion of the competition. But here they are in their last major practice, and Rosalynn looks wonderful. Look at this, Ina Bauer stepping right up into a double axel, double loop. She's skating beautifully, but look who is watching right over there at the edge of the ring. Katarina Witt is not missing a trick. As Rosalynn continued to practice, we listened as Katarina's coach, Uta Muller, gave advice and instructions in English, especially for us.
On the end, you must a long skate. On the end from the program, long skate, not so short. Skate, longer. Correct.
So Katarina worked on the final touches and the very last positions. And later, I had a chance to talk to Rosalynn Sumners. Rosalynn, you had a nice practice tonight?
Yes, I did. It was the best I've had all week, and you know, I just went out there today with the killer instinct, the same feeling that I want to go out with tomorrow night, and I did clean program today with everything, and I'm fighting now.
You are. You're a little annoyed.
I'm mad.
That was going to be part of a question I was going to ask you. Do you like being in 2nd place chasing, or is it harder than being in 1st place and being chased?
No, I think I like being in 2nd chasing, because then I can really just bring out all the fight that I have in me, and I know that there's a couple ahead of me that all the pressure is on, you know, the girl ahead of me, and so I can just relax and go out and just skate my heart out.
I don't think it can be easy no matter how it is.
Oh, nothing's easy, especially this. This is the hardest thing I've ever had in my life, and it is really it's a test. It's the biggest challenge I've ever had, and I'm ready to face it.
The sports psychologist that you have with you, I know he's been working with you visually and on a number of different routes. What is he has he specifically given you any points of view for today and for tomorrow?
We're just working basically on what we've always worked on, that's keep my focus and not thinking about the outcome of the competition, just keeping my relaxation and the relaxed energy that I work with at home in practices, and I had that today, and it produces the best outcome.
This all sounds so clinical, doesn't it? But to me, it just looked wonderful.
Thank you very much. I felt very good tonight.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Thank you.
What do you think about Katarina?
I think that she better watch out tomorrow because I'm going for it.
Oh, you devils. You know,
Yeah.
I always used to think a football team had a lot of fight and guts in them, but I'm beginning to wonder whether the ladies' figure skating team isn't tougher.
Well, the Seahawks got so close, and, you know, they fought the hardest, so I'm this close. I might as well just fight all the way, too.
All I can tell you is good luck.
Thank you.
We're with you.
Thank you.
What Rosalynn's going through now, can you relate and remember what it was like for you?
Well, I was expected to win the gold medal, just like Rosalynn. And I think the pressure for me was not falling and not making a mistake. I wanted to do as perfect a performance as I possibly could, because I knew that I had to be the champion, and I wanted to skate like the champion.
Well, let's take a look at the performance as it turned out, or at least a little bit of your performance. This is one film from 1960.
Well, you can see that the dresses were much longer then. The boots were higher. I wore a hairnet because we weren't allowed to have our hair fly around.
Is that right? I'd forgotten that. What about the skating? Now, you didn't do triples in those days, right?
No, the most difficult jump we had to do was a double axel. And you can see how the hands were. They always had to be up. Now they're much softer.
What kind of marks do you think you could get with this performance today?
Not as high as I got in 1960. Now I'd have to do at least 2 triple jumps. The skirts would be much shorter. The boots would be lower. I would tack my hair up or get it cut. And I would probably have a much more flamboyant outfit, much more beading on the top. You know, we had to be very conservative in those days.
Well, I'll tell you, you blurred that final spin pretty well. Dick Button's always very special on that. He said they don't blur the spins anymore like they used to. Suppose you were sitting down with Rosalynn Sumners tonight, and she was a little edgy, and she said, Carol, tell me something. What attitude should I take? What would you tell her?
I would tell her to be mentally tough and be very gutsy out there and attack everything in her performance tomorrow night, and have the feeling that everybody else has to get her, that she's going to skate the best she possibly could, and they have to try to beat her, not Rosalynn trying to beat the rest of the kids.
Final question. You were a very athletic skater, but you also had a lot of grace and beauty in it. Do you think in some cases they've gone too far with the athletic end of it? That's just how many revolutions you can do and so forth?
Well, I think they've had too many triple jumps, going down the ice doing a triple-triple, going up the ice doing a double-triple jump. And on a 4-minute program, you should have at least 4 different spins. The choreography that the kids can do now is marvelous, and I don't think they take advantage of that.
Now, so tomorrow night, she goes out on the ice. What does she have to do? What does Katarina Witt have to do to win this championship, aside from skate well?
They both have to skate their very best, because both of them are good enough to win the gold medal. But one mistake can cost each of them the gold medal tomorrow night.
No chance tomorrow night to be as, well, sort of conservative as you were able to be with the lead, or as Scotty Hamilton was able to be last night?
Absolutely not. They both have to attack everything in their program.
Carol, it's very nice to see you again.
Good to see you, Jim.
By. Carol Heiss, the Queen of the Ice in 1960. Very shortly, we'll be skating queen of 1968, Peggy Fleming. You know, I don't know if you would agree with this or not, but last night's performance by Scotty Hamilton reminded me a little bit of you in '68. You skated conservatively, didn't you? And he did last night.
Well, I don't think that we went out there trying to do that. We wanted to do a perfect performance and the performance of our life. And I think, you know, coming in as the favorite, there is that feeling of, you know, you don't want to let anybody down, mainly yourself, and all the people around you and your country and everybody that's pulling for you. And I think, you know, it's a slip of concentration that makes you pull out of jumps because you don't want to fall. And I could see the look on Scotty's face last night after he missed his first triple. You saw that look of like, what is going to happen to me tonight?
So. Well, both of you in the end won the gold medal, so let's go back and look at your performance in '68.
Beautiful spread eagle, double axel spread eagle. Watch this spin. Just a slight hesitation going into it.
Having watched her ease of action to Saint-Saëns, Samson, and Delilah, Rossini's The Thieving Magpie was Peggy Fleming.
Combination now, a split first, now a double flip, and again a slight hesitation on the landing. Now watch this last combination coming up. Half loop, 1.5 double toe loop, double toe loop. And a double salto that she unfortunately did again not make. This is not a great performance for Peggy. But there's her last move, a flying sit spin, a very nice one. And certainly a superb enough performance. Look at this final pull on that spin to hold her this title. There's no doubt about the question that that'll be a good enough performance to hold it, even though it was not her finest performance.
And only you knew that you were a nervous wreck out there all the way.
Oh, I know. I just died when I got off. I wanted to give that best performance in my life, and I didn't.
What did you tell me that your husband, Greg, does sometimes? He wants to make you nervous?
He hums the beginning of my Olympic program.
Isn't that terrible? All right, let us suppose you were sitting with Rosalynn right now, and she said, Peggy, you know, I don't know exactly how to feel, what to do tonight. What would you tell her?
I think if she can think of, when she's skating out there tomorrow, of it being just another practice session where she has performed her number perfectly, because she does it perfectly in practice. All these girls skate wonderful. And if she can just relax and shut everything else out and just concentrate on what she can do and not get the aura of the Olympics all mixed up in her concentration.
As the old saying goes, easy for us to say, huh?
I know.
Thank you very much, Peggy.
Thank you, too.
Peggy Fleming, the Queen of Ice in 1968, and a little later, we'll meet Dorothy Hamill. One of the things we're trying to do in tonight's program is to put into perspective tomorrow night's effort by Rosalynn Sumners to win the gold medal in ladies figure skating. Now, since the Squaw Valley Games of 1960, 3 American women have achieved that. We've already talked to 2 of them tonight, to Carol Heiss and Peggy Fleming. Now we're going to hear from the 3rd, Dorothy Hamill, who won it in 1976 in Innsbruck. I talked to her recently in New York. So first, let's go back to her performance in Innsbruck and then hear what she had to say on the subject.
You're looking at the United States champion, Riverside, Connecticut, Dorothy Hamill, with that incandescent smile.
Very much the mature young lady. Lovely layback. Just beautiful, just beautiful.
In the standings, number 1.
Taking everything with extraordinary ease, flowing from one move to another. Bauer stepping up with double flip. If she continues like this, that's where it is. Good work.
Now 45 seconds to go.
Combination, Wally, Wally.
Seconds.
Split jump. Split jump. And she has only one more move. Here it is, a flying camel. Now watch her drop it down in a move that she invented called a Hamill camel, taps the foot on the ice and into a back fist spin, and she has done it, I am sure. The competition is yet to come, but this was a lovely, lovely program.
Dorothy Hamill has conquered stage fright, has done a brilliant performance.
There it is. Oh, look at the flowers coming on the ice. Just marvelous. Marvelous for a girl who, look at it, it's raining here, flowers on the ice for her. They're coming all over us. It's sensational.
Dorothy Hamill with our
19-year-old who has fulfilled that 11-year-old dream of becoming Olympic champion.
Recently in New York, I had a chance to talk to Dorothy about the responsibility of being an Olympic champion. What came later? What came after? Was it difficult for her?
I found that very difficult when I turned professional. People expected me to know everything, and really, I had only skated. I, went to school, but not that much. I finished high school, and then it was the year before Olympics, and I trained for Olympics, and that was all. And when you're thrown into the real world after that very sheltered little life and circle of people, I was dealing, I missed my family. I was on the road all the time and dealing with a lot of, big Hollywood people. And the press expected me to be able to give interviews and answer questions intelligently, and I was not prepared for that. It really is. I think the kids today are a little more aware of it because they get more publicity before the event. As when I was competing, it wasn't as much before. It was maybe the week or two before Olympics, and then it was all afterward. But I remember in '75, my father trying to get my name in the hometown newspaper, and I was second in Worlds that year. So that was almost overnight that it happened. That has changed a lot. And I think they have a good idea. The kids seem to be much more mature now than I was. It seems that way. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but there are so many responsibilities that go along with being an Olympic champion that I was not prepared for.
If you were talking to a parent who had a very talented young skater, what would you tell them that they could do to prepare them for everything that's to come? Everything.
The most important thing is that it's what the child, the individual, wants to do. And if they love it, they can have less talent than someone else, and they can still be the best. But it has to be something that the individual wants. It can't be, something that their parents want.
That's for sure.
Because in the long run, it just doesn't work.
Well, we've tried to put tomorrow night's ladies' final into perspective by talking to those three former champions, to Carol Heiss and Peggy Fleming and Dorothy Hamill, and seeing their gold medal winning performances. But now it is up to the principal antagonists tomorrow night. We would imagine at this hour in Sarajevo they are either asleep or certainly trying to get to sleep. The principal ones would be, of course, Rosalynn Sumners, the world champion, and Katarina Witt of East Germany, 18 years old, who is leading going into this final free skating phase. It should be terrific. And one other name to note, one face to start remembering, is Tiffany Chin. At age 16, she just could pull up to a bronze medal tomorrow night.